You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee Project After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Glee Project.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are here, we are here doing another episode of the Glee Project. This is season 2, episode 6, Fearlessness. I am Tamara Berg. I'm joined in studio by Christy-Anne Lopez.
Hey guys.
Steve Bottomley.
Hello.
We have Marissa in the booth, and we have 3 amazing special guests with us. We have Abraham, Charlie, and Blake from the Glee Project. This is so exciting!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Die.
How did we score this?
I don't know, but it was our great good luck. There is lots of blushing, lots of shaking in this room, mostly by Steve, because he's very excited to meet all the guys.
I sit next to Blake on the couch.
He's on the couch with Blake.
Got the couch spot.
I was telling him, you don't know how many teenage girls are going, I wish I was Steve, I wish I was Steve, I wish I was Steve.
Oh dear God, yes.
Okay, we want to get to you guys and really talk of all the dirt about the Glee Project, but first we've got to run down the show, so we are going to do it fast. It's going to be a speed round. So we started out with the topic for the week is Fearlessness. Song for homework was Now That We Found Love by Heavy D and the Boyz, a rap song. So hey, how about that? Were you, first of all, I just want to know, were you scared? Was it exciting?
It's so funny because like I'm Asian and like we're not exactly known for being like, oh, what up? So I was like channeling my inner Luda.
Okay.
And Eminem. No, Eminem's too angry. And Nicki Minaj, you know, just trying to channel it. But I mean, it ended up being so much fun. It was like, I think, our favorite homework assignment thus far. So
it was a phenomenal performance, I will say. I thought it was so good.
So good.
Thank you.
You guys are always just like so full of energy. And to be honest, sometimes I see you guys as a group and you can literally be your own cast on its own, you know? And it's
Amen.
And
yes.
have you guys heard there's a lot of stuff floating out on the internet about how people love the Glee Project more than Glee, actually.
I mean, just brush your shoulders off really quick.
No, so clearly, I mean, that's a testimonial to what an amazing cast you guys are, and the excitement and the energy that you create just by being yourselves, right?
Yeah,
so huge compliment.
It's the best part about it. You know, I think at some point people were really, you know, growing a little bit tired of the reality TV scene, and they wanted something different. And then along comes the Glee Project, which is of course attached to Ryan Murphy, who is known for taking anything at all and putting a brand new spin on it. And the show that came out was so positive and so good to the, you know, to all the contenders and trying to showcase them in the best way possible that people just, you know, I believe that people inherently latch on to positivity, and our fans have really done so with us.
I totally agree with you, because one of the interviews I was reading was talking about how it was a typical TV reviewer, and what he was talking about was his other favorite show was So You Think You Can Dance, and I don't know if anybody else watches that show, but it's one of those shows that's really, isn't it so much?
I love it.
It's so much more about the camaraderie. It's about the. Yay!
Sorry.
Yay! It's about the camaraderie. It's about people working together. It's about people achieving, and I think that's a lot of the spirit of the Glee Project. So there you go.
Definitely.
But specifically to the performance, my note here is Nelly, sad face. Because, you know, again, she did not seem completely comfortable with, I guess, as you said, getting into that character and stepping out of the box. And then I have Boyz, double smiley face. So good job, guys. And then I have and then I have Blake, cool jump at the end.
Oh, thank you so much.
Was that like your own touch, or was that like the direction from?
Yeah, we were all putting our own spin on the song and on the performance, and that was just something that came about. So I was just like, I'm just gonna jump right now. So I just
feel free to just jump anytime.
Well, and that displays confidence. You know, obviously, if you're going to be doing all this stuff and then go jump, Yeah. How much time did you guys get to prepare for the homework assignments? How much time do you have for that?
Well, Abraham, if you want to, do you want to take it up?
You know, honestly, it's we don't have a lot of time. It's not like we have because we immediately go from, it's basically what you see on television. So we go from getting the homework assignment, getting the theme, and we obviously have a few hours or whatnot to practice, but there's so much and there's so much that goes into it, the blocking, the choreography.
And now, do you guys come up with the blocking and the choreography?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all us.
You know, there's only been one incident
Impressive.
that they've shown where there was a little bit of friction as far as who got what line. I think it was between Aileen and Lily a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah.
They've only shown it once, but I am curious. How does that work itself out?
You know, we usually each time that's happened, we've had a unique way of dealing with it. Sometimes we have sing-offs for the line.
Interesting.
Sometimes
everybody else votes. Like after they do the sing-off, everybody else votes. Like who deserves the line. And
because there was another thing with besides that, there was Mario and Allie who they were sort of trying to go for a line.
That's right. That was the other one.
And you have to think. I mean, in that respect, I mean, I have to say that. You know, you do want to go with the group consensus because this is an ensemble cast as it is on Glee. And so if somebody really wants a line, but we feel like, oh, this idea is better, then we'll vote as a group and we'll go with that. So
exactly.
That's interesting. Well, and I would also think that within the group dynamic, you've got to get that stuff solved as quickly as you can because you really want to get to the work of it and not be messing around with the administration of putting together a song, right?
Yeah, that's why, like, in the homework assignments, like, anything that involves dance, kudos to Abraham because he was definitely, like, the star choreographer for all of our homework assignments. He's great. He's great.
Hey.
Awesome.
Thank you, Blake.
That's very cool.
Oh, that was so nice. Wasn't that so nice?
That was so nice. Yeah, but
you know what? Nice people sit on the couch.
Wait, so
nice people get the couch.
Do the people?
There you go.
Did the audience hear those too? The sound effects?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're hearing those. So it's not just.
It's not just you.
So I hear the applause.
It's not. It's not in your head.
And guess what the engineer got for Christmas? A whole bunch of them.
oh yeah.
So then you meet Jane Lynch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she is judging you, and she's fantastic. By the way, she talks about how she had 49 years of failure before she was on Glee. Can we talk about Best in Show and the
40-year-old version?
Funny thing about Jane Lynch is I'm a huge, well, I say it all the time, I'm like on my Twitter and on my Facebook, I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin fan. I eat up literally everything that he's done. And I was watching reruns of The West Wing as I was cleaning out my apartment before I was watching West Wing before I cleaned out my apartment to move. And all of a sudden, I hear this reporter like frantically asking a question. Because, you know, in the beginning of season 2, there's the assassination attempt on President Bartlett. And it's Jane Lynch. It's Jane Lynch like frantically yelling, to Allison Janney, can you comment on this at all? And I'm like, hey,
yeah,
like there it is, there it is.
Everywhere.
She's everywhere, and she's so right because we are. I feel like so damn lucky that we got this opportunity to do this so early on because otherwise it really is. It's an uphill climb, and you got to have faith in yourself that you're gonna do it every single day, and she has, and she's made it, and it's wonderful to see.
Yeah. So she was really complimentary of several of you guys. I don't know if it was my comment or Jane Lynch's comment about how great you were, but we both agreed anyway that you were fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And that Charlie was amazing. And that I have the same thing. Abraham, Charlie, and Blake, all fantastic. And I didn't know that was how it was going to work.
You underlined my name twice.
I did.
She told me I owned my whiteness.
I couldn't remember.
She told you what?
She said, you are a white boy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, that's true.
That is a question I was wondering. How much editing gets taken? How much of the critique is edited down for the sake of the show? Like when you have the guest.
With the homework mentoring.
Yes, with the homework mentoring. A lot.
Yeah, it's usually, you see the top 4 or 5 on the show, but all of the guest mentors have been so good about feedback. They give all of us, at least like a moment of consideration.
You all get it, and yet they just edit down to certain pieces. Okay.
Well, and when we were doing the sing-off, I talked to Ben about that, Ben Foltz, the same thing, that they would give like pages and pages of feedback to the groups, and it would get cut down to a few lines. So there was real feedback being given to you guys, and there was real stuff that you could take away.
Can you imagine if they came and they're like, we're only going to get feedback for these 3 people, and then
you only get one line.
Oh no, yeah, but Jane and
but that's how it's presented every week.
That's how it seems like,
Well, and if you don't know, if you don't ask, you're going to walk away and go, well, what about the other people?
Yeah.
Right.
All the mentors have been so amazing, and we're so blessed, especially this season, to have, so many of like the stars of Glee, you know, really come full circle and really just, you know, volunteer to come out. You know, I read something on Perez where a lot of the mentors.
Don't read
this year,
that stuff. Especially if it's about you.
A fan tweeted it to me. No, but it was really sweet though. Shout out to Perez, and he's being nicer these days. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's very true.
But they said that a lot of the Glee people that are the mentors that are coming out on the Glee Project this year, they wanted to come out this year.
Well, yeah, big difference
so
between
amazing.
last season.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last season, it was, you know, the lower echelon, the big stars didn't come on. And so when I saw the big mentors coming in this season, it was amazing. And I was feeling you guys were so lucky because you were going to really get the top.
Leah,
I was about to say, like,
I'll say it's almost strange. I feel like it sort of mirrors the path that you know that the scripted show took, and that the first season the show was a bit of an underdog, and people weren't really sure it was, you know, going to be a huge success, and then all of a sudden it knocks itself out of the park. And I feel like our new season of the show is sort of like where season 2 of Glee itself found itself, where all of a sudden people are saying, I want in on this.
I think it's a great parallel you're making.
It's really cool.
And did you guys feel that pressure going into the second season? Because obviously there's going to be, you know, a higher expectation, a bar is set much higher, because obviously, you know, they're picking not just one winner, but 2, 3, or 4. Did you guys feel that pressure going into it?
It's so funny because when our first video came out for Edge of Glory, there were so many people that were like, oh my God, season 1 is so much better than season 2. And because people are always going to compare to the previous, you know, so Glee Project season 1, they compare them to Glee.
Yeah.
And now it's like we're being compared to Glee season 1. But I think that, you know, we're all so different and the talent is so much different this year. The personalities are different this year. And you can always try to find parallels and dig up something. But, you know, the fact of the matter is that who's like me in the season 1 cast? Nobody.
For real.
Thank you. Done.
That is correct. Let's move on to the video assignment. So it was a mashup of Blondies, One Way or Another, and Pat Benatar, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. I'm trying to talk so fast, I'm not even getting the words out right. Sorry. No choreography and slushies and swimsuits. Oh my God.
Yeah. You guys seemed very excited to do the slushies, and I was like, no, that's not gonna be fun.
No.
What was that really like, you guys?
I was not.
Slushies.
I'm
like,
what, to get slushies? It was the worst. I remember in season 1 when I was watching Cameron, like how he was reacting.
Right.
I was at home and I was just like, well, I'm sure maybe he just hates the cold like a lot. Maybe, you know, maybe it's not that hard. I was completely wrong. He was totally right. Getting a slushie in the face is like getting slapped by a snowman. It's terrible.
If they use a real slushie?
With like food coloring.
Really?
And they've got
I didn't get to see the video. I had to run around and take care of business.
No.
But seriously, you couldn't come up with something that isn't freezing?
What were you going to say, Charlie?
The thing about being slushied is this. I can take one slushie, you know, per take, fine, because it's sort of like a musket. You know what I mean? Like you're fighting with a revolutionary musket. You get one shot, and then it's like, okay, cut.
Reload.
Yeah.
Talk to you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, collect yourself, fine. Okay, reload. But the worst thing was actually when we had to do. There's a vignette in the video of us getting hit in the face with the slushies. Now what that was five people with buckets, giant buckets of slushie, and you just had to scoop and throw, and that was probably the most. It was the most intense pain I've ever felt in my life.
My God.
It's so painful.
Like by 20 seconds in, you can't breathe. It feels like something very cold is like wrapping itself around you.
Thinking about it right now is just like really excruciating. I'm just like,
can we move on?
So terrible.
Please don't talk about it. I can see it in your eyes.
God.
Welcome to show business.
Something's dying.
Yeah.
So funny.
Well, and interesting because season 1, they got one slushie in the face.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember,
Yes.
but season 1 of Glee Project, they got one slushie in the face. But it was a high pressure one because they got one take. You know, they had to look all pretty, and then they were going to get the one slushie. So the alternative was that you guys had more of them, but there were more opportunities to get good shots of you, and just kudos to you for doing that. Though.
Thank you so
much.
Seriously.
Thank you guys.
I mean, it really did make it look easy, because I know last year they really, you know, showed a lot of the reactions to having that happen, but I think because there was so much in the video, they couldn't really focus on it, but I know that's really tough.
Thank you so much.
And you can really see it in your acting in the video, because I thought all of your acting has just been improving so much every single week. Although the very first shot of Eileen when she first gets slushied, and I know that they make a comment on it that she was kind of smiling and it totally came off, and that kind of didn't set it off right.
Oh, I thought you were talking because I didn't see the video, so don't come looking at me. But instead, hey, how often do you guys shop at Amazon? A lot. But you know, before you go to Amazon, go to AfterBuzzTV.com and hit on the Amazon button in the corner.
Yes.
Because what happens is you still get all the great prices at Amazon. You really do, but AfterBuzz TV is a little something on the side.
Do they have slushies on Amazon?
They do, and they have bath salts.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Real bath salts for come on. So anyway, when you need to go to Amazon.com, do us all a favor and go to AFTERBUZZTV.com. Use the banner in the corner. Shop away. We will love it. They will love it. Everyone loves it. Thank you so much.
And we love you.
I heard the bath salts are on sale.
The bath salts are on sale. They're running a special in Florida, I hear.
Discount.
You're getting good on that one, Steve.
Thanks. Why hand it to me? Because it's just like a riff now.
Special on aisle 3.
Okay, we want to know some inside dirt.
Creepy voice.
Actually, not dirt. We just want inside information on the vocal coaching.
Yeah.
Or not the vocal coaching, but when you're in the booth with Nikki. So how long are those sessions with her when you're recording?
It really depends.
Of course, on how fast you get it, right?
For instance, I'll talk about price tag real quick. The lines when Shanna and Abraham, right? When you and then Shanna again and then someone else. And my line was everybody look to the left, everybody look to the right. So I walk in the booth and I'm like, everybody look to the left and everybody look to the right. Okay, that's it. We're good.
Wow.
Okay.
I walked in. I walked out.
It really varies. Nice. I mean, because sometimes we have, like every other, like even I'm sure the cast of Glee, people have their really great days.
Sure.
And some people have their really bad days. Price tag, really bad day for me. But I mean, like it really does vary. And like some people are just a lot faster in the studio and some people just get it and some people just take longer. And so I think that's the job of the mentors is to really weed that out. So,
are you guys pretty experienced in recording and being in the booth?
No.
Or was this a lot of
we were. Well, I know Abraham. You'd had some pretty pro stuff up on YouTube by the time the show began.
Before the show began, I was on YouTube. I released my channel actually a little over a year ago, a year and 3-4 days ago. So that was really
Happy
cool.
anniversary,
anniversary.
YouTube channel!
Thank you.
Are you on Amazon?
I'm gonna go right now after the show. But yeah, no, I had recorded in the studio maybe 3 times prior to that. But going to the show, a lot of us, with a few exceptions, we didn't have much experience in the recording studio, so it was so much fun and it's fun. Fun.
Scary sometimes. Scary maybe the first time. Scary every time.
No, the first week was my first time because I was never vocally trained or anything like that. So the first time walking in the studio, that was my first time doing any singing professional type thing ever. So I was really nervous. I was just sucking it up, trying not to show that I was nervous, but on the inside I was oh man.
Because you don't want to cry.
Do any of you guys get any sort of vocal coaching or anything off the side, or does anybody come in and say, look, this is how you're going to do this line, this is... No?
Yeah.
No.
Because I got to say, to the person, your voices are just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Part of the fun of seeing the bottom 3 is you get to solo, and you guys are always really good on your solo. And it's just why can't you do this? But because it's such a group dynamic. Yeah. But I'm blown away every time that you guys solo.
What's great is that
it's just amazing.
We don't have anyone. We don't have anyone teaching us. But what's great is that we had such a great group, and we all felt like a family. It's if I was having trouble with my line, I'd totally go to Abraham or anybody who was willing to help. We would all help each other.
Yeah.
If Abraham was oh, listen to my line, tell me if it's okay, and I would totally listen, give my
Blake and I
feedback.
would go to each other all the time. He would we would bother each other to the point where he would be Abraham, is it really okay? Is it really okay?
No,
and I would do the vice versa. I would do vice versa, and we would both get so annoyed. Okay, it sounds great.
That's good. It was insecurity city for sure.
So yeah.
And really quick, back to having good days and bad days. Does Nikki have her good and bad days? Because obviously she's pregos. Does not have the
so they
best
say.
patience in the world.
I just think.
She
Too
seems
many
like
donuts.
an irritable biatch sometimes. Sometimes I'm ooh.
Yeah. In her defense, I do want to say Nikki's so talented, and I'm obsessed with one of her songs right now, that she did with her husband for Room for Two, Roots Before Branches, which was on Glee. But she's so talented. She knows exactly what she's doing. When she'll tell me, "Oh, Abraham, don't do a certain riff and do this straight instead," it sounds so much better in the end. So it's the same thing with Simon Cowell. He may seem like the spawn of the devil sometimes, but the man knows what he's doing. So
he does.
Love her so much.
Really
Did you learn a lot from her?
Oh yeah, definitely learned a lot from her, and to sometimes less is more. And even last week, we witnessed the tragedy that was my recording booth time, and when the circle burst, and I did learn how to change up my vocal dynamics in accordance to the track that I'm on, So yeah, she's amazing. I love her.
And speaking of good music,
yes,
you go to iTunes for good music, and you also go to iTunes for good podcasts, like AfterBuzz TV. So if you guys are enjoying the show so far, which I'm sure you are because I'm like loving life right now, go to iTunes, rate, give us 5 stars.
Always.
Always.
Comment, and thank you so much for all of the great comments you guys leave for us. We read all of them, and shout out to all of you who have left us some amazing comments in the last few weeks. And just tell a friend about AfterBuzz TV, and also go download the podcast app if that makes it any easier. Just go to the App Store, download the podcast app, search for AfterBuzz, find any after show there.
We got a lot of them. We've got a lot of them.
Lots and lots.
Yeah, we really appreciate if you do that. And I have a couple of quick shout outs to Lily Emily, to Sarah Escabel, to Nancy Chen, and to Martha SAP or Martha Sap. I'm not quite sure. So thank you for making comments. We really appreciate it. And
hi, guys.
If you leave a comment, we might shout out to you too. So there.
And they're all upset because none of the guys shouted out their names.
Oh.
Blow a kiss right
Lily,
now to all those
Emily,
girls.
Sarah,
There you go, Abraham.
Nancy Chen, and Martha Sapp. Mwah, I love you. And Team Abraham, I saw something from them.
What did they get from you?
The rest of the show is just you guys yelling out names, just random names, and people go, "Oh my God, that's me!"
Team
Abraham.
Yeah.
Abraham's reading the chat roll. So
okay, good.
Team Abraham's on here, and I love you guys.
Team
Thank you
Abraham.
so much. I love you.
Do that
And
one.
happy birthday,
That's
JJ.
awesome.
There we go.
There we are. There, see? See?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to real quickly, the window, Charlie, and you and the window in the booth. Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh man, the window in the booth.
The window in the sound booth while Nikki's so last week you kind of got busted for making eyes at
the window in the sound booth.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it came back to haunt you again a
that's-
little bit this week.
It did. Wait, it did?
It
Yeah,
did. It did. You haven't seen the episode, so you don't really know.
No, I haven't seen that part yet. But I kind of remember something like that happening. I will say this.
Yes.
Okay. It's.
I know, I get it.
It's like,
yeah.
She's like, I get it.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Is this like constraints of what you can talk about, or are
It's
you
what I
really
can
trying to
and-
put
it's
it
what I
together?
can and what I can't say, but I guess like I don't know, man. You can accuse people of of not being professional, or you can accuse people of having too much fun. But either way, like my philosophy has always been that if it gets the job done, do you and do whatever. Like
This is what we three have been saying for
Right,
weeks
exactly.
and weeks.
Thank
I mean,
you
think
so much.
seriously, do
This
you
has
think-
been my bane of
you know,
contention.
Do you think anybody like who saw like Queen at Live Aid, would have said like, Freddie, you're being too unprofessional? like no, you're having fun and you're doing great work at the same time. Like if I just don't feel like that's a character
You just
flaw.
don't even need to say anymore. We are so on your side with this,
Props,
and we have
brother.
been talking about it for weeks.
Yeah,
So
my thing has been, look, if you want to treat these guys as professionals, you put them in a professional situation. You don't have all your friends on the other side of the door distracting them.
Thank you.
Right,
You
and
treat
also-
them,
yes.
and then if you make mistakes because you are not
Yes.
absolute professionals, you don't call them out for it. Especially when she says to you, "I'd be angry, but you're doing such a good job."
Thank you.
And then later on, she brings up, I'm like, "Oh, that's so unfair." So I've always wanted to say that to you because I thought you were getting picked on. So
Well, thank you
Blake,
very much.
no, I don't care.
Much
But
appreciated.
Exactly. No, that's good. That's cool.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that said, Nikki.
You have a
is-
beanie.
Yeah, that said, Nikki is a fabulous coach.
Well,
And
yeah,
I thought
obviously,
That, I thought
obviously
that. Yeah, I
she
thought
is.
that most of the time it was great work that she did with us.
and
so.
and editing changes stories. We've been talking about that
Absolutely.
for weeks and weeks
Absolutely.
as well. So
I do want to say this about editing, though. There's a when like there are scenes edited, that is editing, whatever. But I do want to say that if there's something that comes out of your mouth, and I see your lips moving and you say things, then that's not editing. That's just you. So just want to say that.
He said it, folks. Hashtag just saying.
He's
Just said it.
he's being feisty towards something.
But I have brought up the point for viewers that may not be as savvy that oftentimes the response or the reaction look
Yes.
may not be to what happened previously. So
Right.
I'm guessing it has, where someone will say something and suddenly you've got this odd reaction from someone else. Like, going, okay, that's cut into a story.
It just doesn't make that much
Yeah.
sense. We need to skedaddle and get a move on here.
sorry.
Okay, so
Skedaddle.
we need to talk about the shooting of the video. Lots of things happened when Eileen was getting slushied in the face. She was laughing. We talked about that a little bit. Slow-mo of Nelly getting sexy, coming out of the pool, which actually didn't show up in the video in the
Darn
end.
it.
Allie getting slushy to the point where she couldn't breathe, which, you know, even a person who wasn't in a wheelchair was having issues with that. But she was both scary and fearless. I loved the video. I loved the concept. I just thought it was fantastic. I thought you guys were all amazing in it. It's my dream to do underwater, you know, something on film, and you guys just got to do that, and I just thought that was so much fun. I do want to know, because I know there's the issue of breath, and you don't want bubbles coming out of your mouth. I'm a swimmer. Bubbles coming out of your nose when you've got a camera on you. So did you have to have special coaching for that?
No. We literally got into the water, and it's so bad because I have a fear of water.
Oh no!
I do, yeah,
Really?
I do. It's so bad because I drowned like almost like twice when I was younger, and so here we are. And we're like treading water forever after, like, you know, you're being slushied, so it's so cold that you're shaking so much and your legs are really tense, and then now you're treading water for however long period of time, and then you have to go underwater. So I mean,
and fearing for your life.
fearing for your life. Yeah. But I mean, it was honestly, it was really fun, and because we were in that mode of like, you know what, this is fearlessness. This is a job that we're doing, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, you just go and you get into that work mode. So I mean, I'm glad it showed up in the video.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
So good.
You know, it was like layer upon layer upon layer, because again, last season the videos were much more simple. They were not as complex in the conception or in the execution. And this one had, you know, we had distinct scenes, and underwater and on top of the water and slushies and the slushy montage and so much going on.
The storytelling
really
was there. The storytelling was there, and you guys were really, you know, good at owning your character within the video. Although, Abraham, I just have to say, I made a note that I wish I got to see more of you in the video. I made a note in that somewhere. Anyway,
Lily was a homework
you guys were
winner,
great,
right?
though. Yes.
Yes. And she had
Homegirl worked it.
She had the hose solo.
What do you think of it, Blake?
Solo.
What, of the
video?
Oh, of the video.
We're on the couch. Everyone's ignoring us.
Yeah, I know. We're just here. We're here just playing.
I got cards.
doing our own.
Guys on the couch.
I'll teach you how to do the Amazon thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You just kind of hit the high points.
Gotcha.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we still in the show? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are. I loved Allie's comment after she got, you know, it's called back with, "Are you kidding? I can do anything. Bring fire next time. I'm ready."
Yeah.
Because she was amazing in the video.
great.
She really was, especially when you saw kind of the background of her having real not that you all didn't have real challenges with that, because I can't even imagine it.
You know, Allie, I do want to say something for her, is that like Allie's one of those people that you meet and she's immediately like a supernova of sunshine.
Yeah,
and she
you can tell.
Never brings up the fact that she has a wheelchair, and she just literally goes for it every time. And like I'm sure I can speak for all three of us and the rest of the cast when we say we love her so much. And
To death.
I'm asking for more credit for Allie because she's amazing, and she's like Kristen Chenoweth, like 2.0, but cooler.
Ooh,
but she's not really.
I love her.
I didn't get to see the video today, unfortunately. But in the past, she has not been showcased so much on the show.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
She's represented, but it's never been like the Charlie storyline, or all the various different storylines. They have not developed her storyline to the point where when you tune it down, what's going on with Allie? It just hasn't happened yet.
Hopefully, we'll see more of her.
It might change now because after this video.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes,
Oh,
Marissa,
Marissa,
go.
Oh, there's more people.
Yes, hello everyone.
Hi,
Marissa in booth. I'm a film major, and I'm a huge fan of the Glee Project as well, so I love listening to this show. I have a question for you guys. How long does it usually take to film the music video? I mean, is it all in one day? How long is your working day for that?
It's all in one day, but sometimes it goes into the next day. Usually we start at about, 5 a.m.? Usually we're up by 5 a.m.
It's just, it's all day, and it's very, very rigorous. But I mean, it's so much fun, and you just drink lots of coffee, and then you brush your teeth with whitening toothpaste afterwards to get off the coffee stains.
Wow, pro tip right there. AfterBuzz exclusive.
And it's super fun.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive. Drink water.
That's amazing.
Little health tip from Charlie. Drink water.
Okay, so the bottom
That's what I've been
three
doing
were Charlie, Nelly,
Yeah.
and Eileen. Eileen going first, doing "Take a Bow" by Rihanna. Great singing. Ryan Murphy, though, was talking about how she got slushied and laughed. Again, that came up. And he said, "You are a game changer with respect to her religion and her spirituality." Also, I would say her look is very different from anything else. Thoughts, comments?
I think she did great. I thought her version of the song "Take a Bow" was actually better than Rihanna's.
Ooh.
She took it to another level emotionally, I thought. Just saying. But and I think that Eileen, she for the most part is a very good actress. I think we make very good notes every week about how she really has a lot of intensity in her face and how we can really read emotions. Maybe this week just wasn't a good week for her, but I thought she did really well.
I'm always a little confused on the bottom three because you're presenting the strongest thing you do. And there's never any question about your singing ability or, your stage presence. If they really wanted to challenge it, give you a scene and say, okay, monologue. But that wouldn't be good TV. What's great TV is you guys performing a song. So for the bottom three, it's always, like I said, it's always been, oh, cool. I get to watch.
It's a little concert.
It is a little concert, and you guys are, you invariably nail it, hit it out of the park. So she was great.
Or nail it out of the park.
Nail it. Yeah, just with a nail gun.
Next we had Charlie doing "It's Not Unusual" by Tom Jones. I screamed, and you screamed too. Well, you didn't. You would have screamed.
Did you really not know that song?
After a second, I did. They didn't include that part where I was like, oh, yeah, there we go.
Right.
Well, I mean, listen, I knew.
No, they included this part.
I knew the one line. I knew it's not unusual to be loved. But after that, after that, I had to learn it.
So, you really changed it. You did some major creative choreography. You made some major creative lyrics. The one word I have on here is fantastic.
Well, thank you very much.
I loved it.
Much appreciated.
So, what made you decide to do that?
Well, it was my fourth time in the bottom three in a row. And the only other contender in the history of the show who has had to go through that was Alex from season 1. But Alex that happened later on in the competition for him, that he was in the bottom 4 times in a row. And by the fourth one, he was in contention for the finale.
Right.
And I figured I was halfway through a marathon, so if I, sometimes the writing on the wall is a little bit clearer than other times. And I thought, if I have any chance of surviving this thing, I have to be completely fearless.
Right.
I have to embody the
take
theme
it into
of this
your own
week
hands, sort
and
of.
And make a choice that wouldn't even occur to anybody else. And so I was. It's funny though, because I was I was rehearsing with Nikki, and I told her to change lyrics, and then on a sheet of paper I was writing down blocking, because when I'm planning, it's sort of like dancing around, like, oh, this and this and this and this, and I had like a very clear like arrow drawn to the 4 little circles. And I figured that the crew that was shooting it would catch onto this, but they had no idea I was going to do it. So the fact that they got those shots was remarkable.
Yeah.
So shout out to the crew.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The Glee Project, because you guys are amazing.
And I have a clear arrow here that says he went there.
I would just say ballsy.
Yeah.
If anything epitomized, oh my God, it's because I'm sitting so close to Blake. I can't even talk. No, if anything epitomized fearlessness, I thought it was that performance.
I agree.
Where you just said, screw it, I'm going for this thing. Yeah. And I kind of like the lyrics better anyway.
I did. I mean, I thought it was brave. I thought it was incredibly brave. And actually, somebody in the chat a little while ago said that you actually went home over things that you couldn't control.
Thank you. I totally agree. And you know what? I thought it was unfair that you were on the bottom 3
in the first place.
Yeah, at least twice. I thought that you were dropped there through, like, come on, pick a side, because you're either. When they were doing the video where people were being bullied.
Oh, Everybody Hurts.
Yeah. And you took Mario's cane.
Yeah.
And you got called out for it. But
we had a big discussion about this.
Really?
Yes. And my point of view was, what are you nailing him for? He's the only one that said, look, I'm going to step out of the box. I'm going to do something different. The only thing I called you on was, make sure Mario knows. But, I mean, every time you're getting called up, I'm up here going, are you kidding me? Everyone should be doing that.
Yeah.
It's a competition. You want to stand out, but I'm not on their side. Sorry.
It's fine. I actually, here's the thing about it, is that I think there came to be an expectation on the show about me, that I would always be the one to make the bold choice. Ryan Murphy said that about me as well. But I think the thing that I, would always keep in mind when I was getting feedback was, one was to just, be coachable. And that means sitting back, and just take everything they tell you and try your best to, integrate it into your practice next week. But that said, Glee, the scripted series, is now it's now a multi-million-dollar enterprise. And each second on that set is costing both Ryan Murphy's production company and Fox thousands and thousands of dollars. And to be frank, I don't think it's a situation where they could afford for bold choices to be made, especially when the wrong one in the wrong direction could, as Zach said, potentially shut down production. So there was a lot that I felt I needed to learn that week about making appropriate choices, but well-informed ones as well.
However, that being said, and said very well, good job.
Thank you.
Don't you think that you would have had the skill set that once you were on Glee to go, okay, that was my rookie year, I'm now in the pros, maybe I should really just watch and do exactly what they say, because you are aware that it is a multi-million-dollar endeavor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, here's what I saw from you. I saw you going, this is a competition, I'm going to show everything I can, I'm going to amp it up, and for whatever reason, I think it just backfired on you.
I totally agree. And there's a difference between the Glee Project and Glee the show. There's a lot of differences between that. So,
except sometimes you don't know where that difference is because, the lines across, you're going, well, are they pros or are they amateurs? And you can't nail them for both.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Anyway.
Okay, so then, and interesting that the one line that they left in the criticism was Zach telling you, I'm done telling you how wonderful you are.
That was for
that was for Nelly.
That was for Nelly?
Yeah.
Oh, look, my notes. Okay,
No.
Okay, got it. I was like, they said that about Charlie?
He knows he's wonderful.
All right. So anyway.
They haven't told me that in a while.
Speaking of Nelly.
Nelly.
Does Beyonce,
that's
If I Were
twice
a
in a
Boy.
row, right? You did a duet with Nelly.
Yes,
yes,
I did do it.
Which was great.
Oh, thank you
I
so
loved
much.
it.
You guys
It
were
was
such a
so
good.
good.
You were the
Phenomenal.
best couple.
Oh, thank you. No, Nelly is
Yes.
amazing, and I loved working with her. Like with Nelly, like we were in our dressing room rehearsing, and it was just like back and forth. Like, oh, that's an awesome idea. How about this? Oh, that's an awesome idea. Like we were just working together in a positive way, and she's just amazing. She's great to work with, and she's just a great girl all around. So she's awesome. I love
Nelly is my favorite, and I'm sorry, I'm just have to say it from this season. She's my favorite voice, hands down, out of the girls and the guys. And
Easily.
she is literally, like, when I saw that Last Chance performance with her and Blake, I was like, T.G., I freaking F. Like, oh my God, it was so good. And you would think that as a competitor, you wouldn't be able to be like, oh, no, that was just stellar and amazing. But seriously, every time I hear Nelly sing, and even that Last Chance performance with Blake, fun fact, Glee Project Season 2, we're trending on Twitter now. So Nelly and Blake trended on Twitter. And
that was insane.
last Friday night trended, but for all the wrong reasons. And it's so fun. Isn't that fun? And we trended tonight too. Fearlessness.
That's exciting.
I know, it's
That's
amazing.
Really good.
So shout out to Nelly and that voice.
Yeah, she was amazing, and her performance in this was just beautiful. They keep getting back at her for her confidence. And my one criticism of her, and I think it's a really sort of light criticism, is that she's not super versatile. She's not showing. She's coming up with the same sort of coffee house Lilith Fair, beautiful. Please take that as a compliment because I mean
yeah.
You looked away and I was like, oh my God, did I just say something?
No, I say that I always call her a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, she's unbelievable, but maybe they're looking for something a little more versatile because then they can fit her into the enterprise that is Glee.
As contestants or as not contestants are let go. Does it change how you look at it, or are you realizing that, oh my God, now just this one small thing, does it get into your head more as the pool is shrinking? And how do you get out of that then? How do you just go, look, I got to think back to the first day I got this gig, and I just got to go back to it's just me being me.
Yeah,
being me.
Because you have to understand, like, this show, like, when it's 14 people, like, if you make a mistake, it's like, it's totally forgivable because everybody makes mistakes, but then as it gets, like, weeded out, the group gets stronger and stronger, and people, like, literally, everything is dissected, so it's so easy to get, like, all Black Swan and into your head, I mean, it's happened to all of us.
How do you work to get out of that?
Talk it out with friends. I mean, we have literally, like, I've talked with Nelly, I've talked with him, like, and, well, Tyler, he was gone. But, I mean, like, I used to talk to, like, my close friends within the house and really try to, like, get out of that. And, I mean, I think that's what makes the Glee Project so special, too, because as much as we are contenders and we're competing for the same thing, it's also, like, a dysfunctional family of sorts. So, very
Again,
dysfunctional.
welcome to show business.
Your facial expression skill, me.
So, Charlie, you did not make it past this episode.
Charlie, they got you finally.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Really?
personally, I'm so sorry. I've been a big fan of yours from the very beginning, both from your performances and your personality. I just think you're incredibly engaging and incredibly charming. And we're talking about him right now just because he got off the show.
Like, let's go.
Yeah. All right, guys.
But you know, it's sad. But the reality of it is that everybody but one is getting kicked off the show at some point. So the odds are really good that everybody's going to be gone. You know, except there will be the one. So just tell us some about your experience with that performance and how it all went for you. With the
it's not unusual, or with everything.
Yeah. Well, start with that and then go to the other.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I went into this performance knowing that it was my 4th in a row, and you know, and I had to make the bold choice, and I felt like I did. I felt like I left everything that I had out there, and you know, I think it sort of also became understood that my strength was in bottom 3 performing as well. I think I've always consistently performed better in bottom 3 than I ever did in the music videos. So I went for it, and it was strange because right before the list went up, I thought, you know, that was it. Like I think I actually made it. But then when Robert came in and said the list is up, something changed, and I thought, no, I'm going home. Like it was a very I don't know. It was an implied understanding. I knew it before I even walked in to check the list.
And so tell us about that moment that comes when you are checking the list, because we you know, it's so odd when we're watching it on the show. Do you do it 5 times? To get different reactions when there's nothing up there?
Are you standing in front of like a blank wall and they lift something up? Because how do you walk up and not like go, what the hell's on the list, and take all that time? You know what I mean?
It's similar to that. We usually have to do a few shots of us just walking up, but it's a fake list. You don't see any results. You don't see anything. And then the last take that they do is the real list. But you know, that's all process talk. I don't know. I think,
but we do see, like, we do go up and we do find out on a callback list, like, you know, who, you know, made it and who wasn't called back, and it is very real. It is literally like when you see someone go up to the list and they are like crying. I mean, can you imagine, like, in one read of like a name, like you find out like whether
what your future is,
or if your friend is going home. You know what I mean? Like, it's so real and it's so visceral, and oh God, it's just so terrible. Like, but I hate that wall.
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead.
The one thing I will say in retrospect of the show is that I have been so overwhelmed with how educated our fans seem to be. Because, you know, on any YouTube video, you usually find an array of stupid comments by equally stupid people. But the comments that I've seen on the threads for our videos and our material is more well-informed, more open to new ideas, and more open to, like, logical, reasonable debate than anything I've ever seen on, like, a political channel on YouTube or anything like that. The amount of fans literally that have come forward saying, Charlie, like, you've been an inspiration to the community of autism spectral people living with autism on the autism spectrum has been so positive, and I think I really made a difference in some people's lives, and I think that was my goal from the beginning. You know, if I walk away taking from this experience that I didn't win some grand prize, then what do I gain?
Right.
You know, it was a wonderful experience, and I'll cherish it for everything that it was.
Amen.
Very cool.
Blake, tell us, for you, how has the experience been for you being on the Glee Project? Because we don't know what your fate is at this point, and I know you're not going to tell us. So
he told me.
Just give us.
I know.
Yeah, I talked to him backstage.
He wrote it on the
Couch Bros.
right here. I know who the winner is.
Next to the Amazon.
Yeah. Evidently, it's Amazon. What? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first things first, on what Charlie said, I just want everybody to know that Charlie is a genius, and he's a genius at making a song his own. And we've actually talked about this in my car one time when I was taking him home. I just want him to know, like, and I want everybody to know that Charlie is amazing. He's an amazing singer, and he's going far, no matter what. Everyone is. And, you know, I just want to say that and put that out there. But, yeah, definitely the experience has been amazing. Like before the Glee Project, I was just some actor in Los Angeles from Miami, just going, hey, all right, audition, let me do my best. All right, I'm not even getting a call back. That's cool. I was walking off, and just like feeling defeated every day, just going to an audition, literally getting an audition, thinking, oh, you're supposed to be like, oh man, I'm excited. You're just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go get rejected one more time.
And now,
but now being on the show, it's just amazing.
Exactly.
It's like a blessing from God. It's for all of us, you know. It's our chance to show what we've got, because going into an audition, you're just showing a casting director what you can do. But this way, we can show everybody. It's like the ultimate audition for everybody.
Absolutely,
like
it's really true.
For viewers at home to be accepted in their hearts, for just for everybody, and just to show what we can do. Singing, acting, and dancing, everything, just performing, and it's just amazing.
It's an incredible showcase for talent, no doubt. Abraham, what about you? Kind of biggest learning experiences, most fun, just sort of grand perspectives. Give us one.
I mean, it's so funny because I grew up literally bred. I mean, when I say bred, that sounds like I'm a pitbull. But literally, like, just growing up, I was supposed to go to law school. I was supposed, like, I had done so well in school all my life, and I went to UCSD. Shout out to UCSD Tritons, even though the sports suck. I graduated magna cum laude, took the LSAT, did really well.
Whoa. Abraham, I didn't even know you took the LSAT.
Yeah, no. I got a 171 on my LSAT, and I was going to go to law school. And then I wanted to perform all my life. And
Smarty pants.
I literally was just at one point after, like, as I was applying to law schools, I was like, what if when I'm 30, I look back and I just keep on thinking, what if I had tried? Like, what if I let all these people, these bullies that that said, oh, you can't do this, you suck, like, you're Asian, like, all these things growing up tell me, like, let that get to me and stop me from doing what I love to do. And, the biggest obstacle was, like, getting my mom to support me because, she was like, oh my God,
be safe.
Be safe, But for me, I was like, the American dream for you is, like, out of need. But for me, it's something I want. I want to be a man of choices. And so being on the Glee Project has been exactly that for me. It's been, like, not just the American dream, but a dream, and a dream come true. And I feel like I'm still in a dream and I don't want to wake up. So
awesome.
I love it so much.
We've been looking at the chat roll, and I've been looking at message boards and things like that over the last few days, and especially tonight, just on the chat roll, all three of you guys, people have said that you're really inspiring to them, and so that's really an amazing thing, an amazing gift that you've given people, and we are so happy that you've been with us here. Can you please give us your Twitter handles before we go?
Wait, there's a question that I have to ask from 2 or 3 people. Abraham,
we're supposed to wrap up,
what
so
happened
do it
with
fast.
the hair? Why the color change?
All I'm gonna say is it's so funny. It became like this. It was like a world topic, and I was like, Jesus, wow. Honestly, for me, Vulnerability Week, I wanted to strip down myself as from a performer to a person, and I wanted the 1 billion plus Asians out there in the world to look at me in the video and to see someone that looked like them, because I know that growing up I didn't have that that many Asian American role models in entertainment.
So it was your choice.
It was my choice, and so I did it. Video, I did it really well, I think, and then I'm still like fiery right on the inside,
Well, but the follow-up to that was, did you need permission? Did you need to clear that with anybody, or did you just show up and hope everything was cool?
It's my hair. If I want to dye my hair, I'm going to dye my hair.
Okay.
Steve, any other burning questions? Because Marissa's yelling at me from the other side of the room.
No, I'm done.
Running out of time?
I love that Steve asked about my hair.
Yeah,
I don't want this to be over.
I know. Okay, Twitter handle, please.
Real Abraham Lim. Follow me.
Charlie, yours.
Charlie_Lubeck.
And mine, Blake, is Blake_Jenner.
And mine is at Tamara Berg.
I'm Miss CeeLo, MISSC_LO.
Complicated.
I got no idea. I got something. It's like Bottomley Steve or something. I don't know. Just check me out at Home Depot. I'm usually there.
Right. And SaveTheSingoff.com.
SaveTheSingoff.com.
You guys, thank you so much
for
being with us.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Just
thank you guys so
incredible. And this will be available on iTunes and on YouTube. People are going to be watching a lot. Thank you for being with us.
You guys are great.
And we look forward to maybe talking to you some more as the season goes on. So catch us next week for the Glee Project. See you then.
And thank you for watching, guys.
Thank you for tuning in.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZ.tv. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AFTERBUZZ TV or its owners or principals.